Hello, Vegas. Welcome to the 7th time here in Vegas. It's great to be back at the link. It's really good to see how many EVE players are gathered here for the weekend, and it's the biggest EVE Vegas ever. Woo! Now, we have EVE players joining us from all around the world. We have people from Canada, Belgium, Germany, Norway, Russia, the United Kingdom, China, the Netherlands, Iceland, Ireland,
the Dominican Republic, Hungary, Gibraltar, South Africa, Singapore, Hong Kong, Sweden, and even all the way from Australia and New Zealand. And if I'm not mistaken, we have some solid representation from the US of A. So anybody attending their first EVE Vegas? Hands up. Nice. Welcome. It's going to be good. So welcome to all of you, and welcome to all the EVE players watching at home on our CCP Twitch channel. Us here, can we say a loud hello to Twitch chat together?
Yep.
Hello,
Twitch chat!
That was good. I think they got it.
So earlier this year at FanFest in Reykjavik, for the very first time, we introduced the Alliance Cup, rewarding the Alliance with most registered attendees. Now at FanFest, the cup went to the Goonstorm Federation. Do we happen to have any goons in the room? What about anyone from Test Alliance?
Not bad. Anybody from Northern Coalition? Yeah! Whoa, they showed up. Been waiting all week to do this one. We have the cup here, and the winner this time is. Drum roll, drum roll. Test Alliance. Test Alliance with about 100 registered attendees this year. So congratulations. You'll be able to get the cup outside, take pictures with it, with all your members, all that stuff, and then we're going to take it and store it at CCP headquarters in Reykjavik, and you'll have your name on the base. So congratulations, well done. Everybody else who showed up in force, awesome.
So, we come from different parts of the world, and we fly with different alliances in New Eden. Some of us have been to many EVE Vegases before, but for some of us, it's the first time. And some of you have played EVE for years, but others are taking their very first steps. Regardless of our differences, we are all here today because we have a shared passion for gaming, for EVE Online, for the community, the friendship, and the relationships we have built and will continue to build over the weekend and over playing EVE Online for years to come.
Yeah. And for us, the developers of EVE at CCP, it's truly a privilege to get to spend the weekend with you guys. So that goes for everybody who's been here forever and knows all the star systems in EVE, and also you guys who've just started playing and can give us feedback on your initial experiences. So, I mean, these interactions, they inspire us and fuel us. Our mission here at CCP is to, through our games, create experiences that are just as meaningful as real life, and we obviously couldn't do that without your passion. So we're here to meet you and talk to you. So when you're here, our time is your time, so don't be afraid to come talk to us. That's what it's all about. And CCP employees are identifiable by dev shirts, staff shirts, in some cases our faces. And so yeah, you'll find us in dev panels, roundtables, presentations. We're giving presentations all the time. So come talk to us. Just wait until the presentation's over and we'll catch up. It's going to be good.
So, it has been a very interesting and an eventful year for us at CCP. EVE Online continues to be our main focus, but we have some very interesting projects being worked on by other CCP teams. And to tell you more about what's on the horizon for CCP Games, please join me in welcoming CCP Hellmar.
Yeah!
Oh, it's so nice to be here again. Very nice to see you all. So, like Orca was saying, there's a whole lot of stuff going on at CCP. And here today, I'm mostly going to be talking about everything going on outside of EVE Online. Of course, we have a whole keynote dedicated to EVE Online, and I've seen it. It's pretty awesome. So I'm mostly going to focus now on everything else we're doing. Of course, EVE is our main focus. I'm a lot involved in it, probably more than ever right now, but somebody has to represent all the other good stuff that's going on at CCP. So, maybe before we go into all that, then kind of recapping just briefly what has been going on since we met here last at EVE Vegas about a year ago. So we've published 2 EVE expansions, Lifeblood and Into the Abyss. How have you guys liked those things? Yeah. And of course, we celebrated 15 years of EVE Online at FanFest in Iceland. Yeah. That was pretty amazing, and still going strong. We elected a new CSM. I actually met with them recently in Reykjavik. It was a very good meeting. Very happy with how interactions between CCP and the CSM go from strength to strength, especially in this year. And we have entered into China again under a new partnership with NetEase. And then, of course, as we recently announced, we have now joined forces with Pearl Abyss to create like what I'm now calling a nerdy MMO club. Pearl Abyss are basically the makers of Black Desert Online, which is a pretty hardcore MMO. And we're a nerdy Icelandic MMO developer. They're a nerdy Korean MMO developer. Again, we've kind of been nerding it out really since we joined forces. And I see a lot of power for us doing something amazing together by uniting these 2 forces. I've, of course, been seriously impressed with what they have achieved with Pearl Abyss. I know a little bit about what it takes to pull off an MMO like that. The level they've taken the graphics, for example, is seriously impressive. And I personally think this is a great fit for both companies. We have a lot to teach and learn from each other. They, like us, are extremely passionate about building virtual worlds and the world's best MMOs. So I personally am extremely excited about what we will achieve under this new arrangement, which is going to be quite different from what CCP has been before. We have mostly been sort of partnered up with financial investors up until this point. So, very happy that we are now at this place. Almost that happy. And as we have been talking about ever since, I think I started this slide in 2008, so I've probably been showing this for 10 years. Now it's animated and cool, like it's really coming along. We are as committed as ever to have EVE Online go on forever. I know it was batshit crazy when we said it in the beginning, when we started to show this slide, but now I see a lot of nods when I bring this up, and I think we can absolutely pull this off. EVE was 15 this year, and give it a few more years when we're here in Vegas, it could even get married legally. Maybe we'll think about something there. Something about, yeah, I have some ideas. Our dream with EVE is for it to outlive us all, for all the creation of all you guys in EVE that will resonate for millennia to come, and people will be doing archaeology about like what it was to build one of the first virtual worlds that went on forever. Big mission. All this basically means is that CCP is in a super strong position. We now, more than ever, can take time to do things right, release games to you all when we're satisfied they're at the standard where you will embrace them. That applies both to new games, but also to features in EVE Online. We've been doing a lot of scrutinizing and criticizing of our own in development process, which I think will lead to a lot of strength as we go into the future. We will not release games until we're satisfied with the gameplay and the visuals. We will continue to involve all of you. I think that has been one of our greatest strengths over the years, is all the feedback you guys have brought to us and how we have been able to incorporate that for good and bad, especially when we have done our own bad stuff. And this philosophy of taking things right, involving all of you, applies both to our internal development team, but also to some of the external partnerships we've been putting in place. And that includes what we've been working with our friends at NetEase. NetEase, of course, operates some of the most popular online games in China. And by the end of July, we announced that NetEase is going to take over the reins of our Serenity server. And NetEase is also a long-standing MMO developer. They're also quite nerdy. You can see where this is going. It's like creating a nerdy MMO developer company club to take EVE Online for global domination. Again, going on forever. You have to round up the troops. Right now, us and NetEase are very hard at work at laying down preparation for a beta for EVE in China. So we'll be making some announcement on that shortly. And for all our capsuleers on Serenity, especially those who've come here to Vegas or FanFest or even here with us today, I heard there were some Chinese players here. True. Chinese players in the audience. Okay. I know they're here, so... but in any case, we're going to have an event like this in China with NetEase. I'm super looking forward to joining there and talking to our Chinese player base. Every time I've commented on that, I learn something new. So we'll be announcing some of those details earlier next year about how things will be progressing on the player meet front and hopefully sooner than that on the beta for Serenity. So, as part of this sort of nerdy world domination MMO club I've been talking about, we're also doing another thing with NetEase. We are working together on a reimagination of EVE Online, the PC game we all know and love, as a mobile experience. Few of you might even have had a chance to try it at FanFest this year. We showed it behind closed doors and got some excellent feedback on what we were showing. And I want to share with you some of the progress we've made on this kind of impossible endeavor on kind of where we are right now. So this is the official name, EVE Echoes. I think it deserves an applause. Yeah, I recognize the stunned look, and I think you will probably have more of that when I share with you. So these are video taken directly from the mobile client for EVE Echoes. So these are straight. This is straight from the engine. And as you can see, this is an extremely faithful rendition of EVE. We have been sharing a lot of the graphics tricks, the shader codes with NetEase, even some of the trails. There are even bugs in how the trails are done in EVE Online. I know the bugs because I created some of them myself, but we have even faithfully recreated those. It's quite amazing. But EVE Echoes will actually be a separate experience from the PC client. I know, how can I speak over this? Like nobody's listening. Yeah. Exactly. So Eve Echoes is a separate game. So basically what happened when Caroline Star was making its appearance in EVE Online, there was a massive disruption in the quantum universe around that phenomenon, and the timeline has branched off. I know, it's super nerdy. It's the nerdy MMO club. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. We make no apologies. Eve Echoes will be its entirely separate universe on mobile, starting its journey next year, similar to what Eve did in 2003. Already operating at this level in terms of faithful rendition of EVE Online. Obviously, some of the feature set has been modified for mobile devices. Some of the corporation management window, you can imagine, don't really fit very well on mobile. But you can join a corp, you can create a corp, you can build an alliance, you can rule the universe. And like with EVE Online, all the history of this world will be written by its players. Yeah, so this is all developed on NetEase's Neo X engine. And it's actually been a great experience for us to see another MMO developer kind of filter through EVE Online and come up with new solutions for user interfaces, for some of the scalability challenges and all that. So I think even you will see some of the features of Eve Echoes filter into EVE Online because there's just clarity that brings up when you start to recreate the game from scratch. So expect all of that taking place in 2019. So speaking of our mobile titles, we successfully concluded the first phase of EVE War of Ascension beta. And let's see what the game looked like at the end of phase 1. So you guys really have embraced War of Ascension in a tremendous way. During the testing, we have seen thousands of players play the game all around the world. A lot of side loading has occurred for people to get into this game, and it's been really helpful in sort of getting the game to the place we are now. Of course, many of you were here in Vegas when we first started playtesting. And we've been listening to your feedback, suggestions, as well as making changes based on the shared experiences we've been having now over the summer. And we just wrapped up phase 1 of the beta. We're also moving the development of EVE War of Ascension into CCP. So we'll be continuing the next phase in our London studio. So expect some great changes coming to that. We're, of course, incredibly grateful for everyone that has taken part on the playtest so far. It really has been invaluable to figure out how to kind of unlock some next phases in this kind of genre type on mobile. And it's really, again, a testament to how we want to develop our games, is to do this and bring it to all platforms. This is not a very common way to do games on mobile. And we appreciate everyone's patience when the game is offline. And rest assured, it will be worth the wait. We'll be bringing in some super cool things in phase 2, much more than what you have seen in phase 1. And just to give you an idea of the scale of the experience we're attempting to put in your pockets with EVE War of Ascension, we've already seen about 276,000 battles which have been fought in phase 1. There also have been 483,000 spaceships built, 827,000 spaceships have been destroyed or needing repairs. It's a lot of doodling in the repair bay. 621 million resources have been mined. 164 million of them have actually been plundered. I haven't actually checked how much has been from my space station in War of Ascension, but it's not a good idea to have your own name in this game, I can tell you. there have actually been 35 battles where both sides were completely destroyed, which we didn't think was possible, but I guess if players will find a way. We'll be starting phase 2 of Eve War of Ascension beta shortly, and we're aiming for a worldwide launch in 2019. Woo! Now, there is one game I am super happy and proud to be bringing you here to Vegas. It's a project I've been personally championing for years. It's almost a decade by now even. And this year, development has been going from strength to strength. We told you at FanFest this year we would have more to say by the end of the year, and that time is now. So let's see what the progress has been for Project Nova.
Wake up. You're not dead yet. You were immortal once. Brutal and merciless. A symbol of death and bloodshed. Now you lie broken. Betrayed. Forsaken. I offer redemption. The great darkness casts its shadow, gathering its forces, harvesting humanity. Be our deliverance. Rise.
Woo! As you see, the game has come a long way. I particularly like how really it's developed its own identity now that it is in space. Pretty sure we've all had the fantasy of shooting into a fleet fight like we just saw in that video. But here to tell us all about what's going on in Project Nova is CCP Rattati, game director for Project Nova.
Thank you, Hellmar. Hello, everyone. It's great to be here. The team and I have been looking forward to showing off our progress with Project Nova for quite a while. And I couldn't be more proud to present it to you here at eVegas. Our game is an explosive, PC-only, online multiplayer FPS, firmly set in the sci-fi universe of EVE Online that we all love. It features high-performance, rock-solid second-to-second gun game, strategic and exciting PvP, and tactical co-op PvE, with a deep and meaningful player progression. We will be co-evolving Project Nova with the games community, you guys, and we hope that you will all be there from the start to help shape its journey. In Project Nova, you play an elite war clone soldier, once exiled, but brought back to fight an old enemy for the promise of redemption. This is where Kasia Valkanier, an ex-Saro field agent, comes into play. She leads the conscription effort of surviving war clones into Aegis, a new Concord division specializing in defense against external threats. The current threat is a new assault doctrine from Sanchez Nation, codename Onslaught. Our new marquee co-op PvE game mode mirroring Eve's incursions. Your squad will execute daring rescue missions on foot as you come to the aid of spaceships under devastating attack from Sanchez Nation, who are directly deploying true slave boarding teams, aiming to enslave and harvest high military targets while making away with their ships intact. With space battles raging all around you, you'll need to weaponize your environment and claim procedurally generated objectives against the adaptive enemy AI. Hijack is our brand new marquee PvP game mode, allowing players to take on mercenary work, both attacking and defending an Eve spaceship. As the attacker, your goal is to hijack the ship by replacing the pilot with your own. As a defender, your job is to defend the ship and destroy the attacker's beachhead using the device. Project Nova's first-person experience is more about strategy than twitch reflexes, combining slower-paced gameplay with an above-average time to kill. To excel at the game, players will need to employ intelligent tactics and effective teamwork. And to promote these game pillars, we're offering squads and integrated VOP from day one. Project Nova's setting is as authentic as possible. A cold, dark, and unforgiving place. Our battlefields are the exteriors of New Eden's gigantic spaceships and structures. And for the first time, we can see a glimpse of Eve's nebulas, planets, asteroids, Phantasm, and fleet fights from this point of view. All of our content, drop suits, weapons, gear, and installations is completely new, revamped for Unreal Engine 4 and the PC platform. A loadout is a combination of one of 3 drop suit classes, each featuring a unique class ability, your weapons and weapon attachments, and your gear. Therefore, each loadout has different tactical options and offers vastly different playing styles. In addition, you'll be able to bring your own installations, such as automated sentries and depots, providing your team with essential defensive and offensive options. To progress in the game, you must prove yourself in battle, completing missions and contracts to gain influence and reputation, unlocking access to new and powerful technology, giving you a wider variety of drop suit choices. We look forward to seeing you guys, the players, evolve the PvE and the PvP metagame and seeing the inventive ways you'll design your perfect squad compositions. Personally, I can't wait to see your reactions to playing the game right here, tomorrow, on the Eve show floor. So join me on the big stage at 2 a.m. tomorrow for a deeper dive into progression, gameplay, and lore. Oh, did I say something wrong? 2 a.m. 2, I'll just say 2. We don't have these AM, PMs in Iceland. All right, 2 a.m. then. At the 3535. We will also be launching the invite-only alpha for Project Nova in November. So you only have a few short weeks before you can download the game and play it at home. Because everyone here at eVegas is invited. For those watching on the screen, you can also sign up for the updates or register for the invite-only alpha on the CCP website. And you can get involved with the community on Discord and our forums straight away. One universe, one war remains our vision. I believe that Project Nova will attract new players into our vibrant universe and create one community. Our journey starts now. Thank you.
All right.
Oh.
Thank you, CCP Rattati, for that glimpse of the game. I'm pretty excited. Are you guys excited for trying it out? Yeah? And for Eve players watching at home, stay tuned. Over the course of the weekend, you might see something there as well.
Yeah. It's going to be good. So speaking of streaming, we've gone through, we've gone to a lot of effort to make sure that there's a stream packed with good stuff and exclusive content for you guys at home. Some of our gear got stuck in customs, as you may have learned, because after trying everything else, we reached out to the EVE community for help. And of course, that's what solved the issue, as it always does. So, cheers to the stonemasons of space. Yeah, so we got interviews with players and devs, live feature demos where you'll be able to ask questions live and get answers. And we're gonna, do all kinds of EVE challenges and games on set. So if you want to see any particular people that you know are here at EVE Vegas, let us know. Be active in chat, and maybe we'll hunt them down and put them on for you. And of course, there'll be giveaways for the viewers on the stream all weekend. I also want to give a special shout out to our friends from Streamfleet who've been working hard to help bring EVE Vegas to you guys at home. They've been busy lately, running a weekend-long stream from G-Fleet in Berlin and doing the 72-hour charity Evathon event, which went great.
Yep.
Thanks to all of you.
Yep, without a doubt, the result of the Evathon is an incredible achievement. Thanks to everyone who donated, played, and contributed to its success. And speaking of charity, like last year with EVE Vegas, we'll be running a charity raffle throughout the weekend until Sunday afternoon. And as with previous years, all money will go to able gamers to help gamers with disabilities get the most out of the hobby that we all share and love. And this year, we have two raffles, the green one and the orange one. One of them puts you in the pool for an all-expenses paid trip to EVE Vegas next year. And the other one is for a high-end AMD graphic card. So I encourage all of you to stop by at the EVE store and get your ticket, and maybe some other EVE merch while you're there. So there's also a silent auction and avatar badges to support able gamers. And for more information on that, go find your friendly volunteer. They're identifiable by their volunteer t-shirts, and they can assist you with all the silent auction.
But we, those of us here in Vegas, we have a great weekend ahead of us. Those of you who bought tickets to the Friday special event, we'll see you at 9 o'clock tonight at the Top Golf at MGM. It's going to be pretty crazy. What could go wrong? A night of free drinks and golf clubs. It's going to be awesome. If you haven't been there before, it's a really great place. Great food, snacks, drinks. We'll have the floor, a whole floor to ourselves, and all the CCP devs are going to go there. And after a hectic time setting up, this is our first chance to kind of like really relax and talk to you guys. So definitely show up. And there are still some tickets available, so just go grab them, and we'll spend a great night together. $89 for 2 hours of open bar and some golf clubs. It's going to be good.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be dangerous.
It's going to be dangerous.
But for those of you who prefer nightclubs over golf clubs, we will have the main EVE Vegas party tomorrow at Ray's nightclub.
Woo!
We hope you're all looking forward to getting down with Ray Sremmert, who will be playing later that night. You all know him, right? All of our guests are welcome to stay beyond our private party and enjoy one of the best clubbing experiences in Vegas. But just keep in mind that Ray's, like other nightclubs in Vegas, they have a very strict dress code. So be aware and make arrangements so you can all stay for the great party. And what I'm told will be the most legendary performance ever by our very own permaband.
No pressure. And I mean, EVE connects people. That's why we're all here. A testament to that is the fact that we're having a big party in the middle of the desert, once again. And I want to share a story of mine. I recently contacted one of EVE's many talented artists and asked him to create custom graphics for the party tomorrow. Any Corin Moore fans in the house? Yeah, I really love his stuff. So I've been a fan of Corin Moore myself for a few years now. I've been hyping his stuff regularly since the early 07 days, I believe. So I was pretty happy when he said he'd be happy to help us out with graphics for the massive LED system over at Dre's. So yeah, and here's actually a fan selfie that I took during our first call about this. It's pretty good. And it turns out, like, Corin was pretty excited about this too, and he was so excited that he decided to tell his mom about this gig he was doing for an Icelandic gaming company. And so, as it turns out, his mom knows someone from Iceland, and whose son works for a gaming company. And he was like, "Mom, it's not going to be the same person. There's more people in Iceland." So she told him the story of how she went to college in her home country of Scotland in the early 70s with a girl from Iceland, who's one of her best friends to this day. And so as it turns out, his mom was right, as moms usually are. And that girl from Iceland is my mother. And I've heard about her plenty of times. So back in 1987, my mom, with her family, visited her old friend in Scotland. And as we learned recently, the picture you're seeing now is actually the second picture of Corin Moore and CCP Guard. So yeah. So I think this hammers home the point that Eve really connects. Eve connects people, and we want to know who you are meeting for the first time here at the Eve Vegas, or the second time. And so post your pictures on Twitter using the Eve Connect hashtag, and maybe we'll share your story on social media and in the closing ceremony. Look forward to seeing all your adventures.
So, between connecting with other EVE players and partying like crazy, we also have a great schedule lined up for you guys. You can find the full schedule on evevegas2018.scad.com, but here are some highlights. So, tomorrow we will travel deep into the abyss with CCP Rise and hear all about the structures from CCP Lebowski. And CCP Rattati will also be giving you a deep dive into Project Nova's lore and mechanics.
Yeah.
And over the course of Eve Vegas, there's some PowerPoint magic happening in the background.
Yeah. You'll just have to imagine our artists at work. Yeah. No, it's fine. So, yeah, we're going to have the art corner, right?
Yeah, so we have an art corner right outside where we have some CCP devs doing portraits, like looking into the art of New Eden. So we recommend you stop by, take a look at that, and deep dive into some New Eden art.
Yeah.
So for people in the back, we don't have a presenter view on this screen.
Yeah. Good thing we rehearsed.
We didn't memorize all our text, like almost, but not
almost. Almost.
Here we go. Okay.
We'll just skip the picture and go to the next thing.
Yeah.
People in the back. So yeah, we have...
We have a lot of people in the back.
Hey!
Okay, so this is
look at these guys! Look who decided to show up!
Yeah. It's a good picture. We should show it.
It's a good picture. It's true. It's true.
All right. So you can see these guys are busy preparing for you to come on over, say hello, and check on all thing Eve art related.
Yeah.
And over the course of the weekend, we also have some amazing player presentation. And this is usually my favorite bit of Eve player gatherings, hearing you guys, the players, share your experiences, your stories. And so I recommend you check them all out, but to name a few, we have role specialization with Kiss Meter. We have ship fitting misadventure with Baltec 1. We have Continuum of War with Matral. We have Y-Stream with Streamfleet. So go check those presentations out. And to kick things off and set the tone, we have the EVE Online keynote right here in this room, starting at 4 local time, which is 11 p.m. EVE time, where CCP Falcon, CCP Burger, and CCP Rise will be giving you a deep dive into what's in store for New Eden in the coming weeks and month.
It's going to be great. It's going to be pretty good. And yes, so until then, just enjoy some quality time with your fellow EVE players and your EVE developers. And you guys at home, stick around for this hour between now and the keynote. And we're going to do some amazing, cool stuff for you. And yeah, check it out.
All right, have fun at Vegas, guys.